and we're back with some more video game stuff. Normally I do Fire Emblem stuff, between hacks or just playthroughs. I've mostly done hacks so far. I've done Voice Blitzar Adventure and Immortal Sword. I'm interested in doing some more stuff, but usually in between those I kind of change up the pace a bit. I did a bit of Under Night in Birth latest, and relatively recently got this Cross Tag Battle. And I'm gonna play this at least for this week, maybe a little bit more. Depends on how I feel, how people want to see. But so I did get this. I received this for my birthday last month, but shortly after it came in, I was away from home for 2 weeks and didn't actually get back until this past week, and haven't really had a chance to delve into it too much. I did some casual matches with a friend yesterday, trying to familiarize myself a little bit with let me see here, my at least team that I started on. Let's see. I'm currently running Chie and Ruby. For anyone who doesn't know, this game is a crossover game including characters primarily from BlazBlue, but also from Persona 4 Arena, Under Night in Birth, and then for the 4 main characters from Ruby, who have not had a anime fighting game appearance until now. I'll just start here.
Please select your character.
We do have, so one of the controversies about the game that wasn't really well received at the start was that the game launched with about 20 characters and promised another 20 characters DLC. Actually having half the roster locked behind extra DLC was not particularly well received, but they did promise to lower the base cost, which allegedly was supposed to be $40 with $20 for all, like a pack of all of the DLC, future, and what was available. I don't think all of it is available yet, which is what I was originally getting at by talking about that, but some retailers were still marking it up to, I'm seeing $50 for the base game, which I don't know how common that is, or if most places do still have it only as $40, but I was one of those that was rather upset with the pricing and delivery scheme there, both from the sense that it seemed like a money grab, and also that it also seemed like they might be trying to rush the game out for, say, EVO, which it is a main stage game at EVO, before it was really as complete as it should be. But once the game did come out in Japan, it came out the beginning of May in Japan, a month earlier than the Western release. It got pretty good reviews from people in the main fighting game community, not just from like casual reviewers. I'm talking about SKD is a big proponent of the game. He really likes it, and that was a surprisingly strong anchoring effect for me. I kind of shifted not only his endorsement, but what he specifically said about it kind of helped shift me from a fairly negative opinion of the game to being more open to giving it a chance. And I am now interested, a bit more of a positive outlook I don't feel like I've played enough of it yet to form a strong opinion yet. But the little bit I have played has been pretty fun. It's just, I need to get a little more in-depth to tell whether or not it was really worth it or not. So I'm not sure how quickly I would have picked it up on my own if it hadn't been a gift. But this is the team I first gravitated towards. Not all of the DLC characters are out. There are, I think, 2 sets out of 4 or 5 that are available. And I think they get automatically added for me since I have the quote-unquote season pass equivalent. Definitely Jubei up through maybe Makoto. Maybe it was just 4, and then I'm pretty sure Platinum was a DLC character. So it might be just those 4 for the blazblue characters. Kanji through Igus for Persona. I'm pretty sure Carmen through Batista for the Under Night characters, and then Blake and Yang were both for Ruby characters. Unfortunately, they did declare that Blake and Ruby, though DLC, are free DLC, and I believe should be free forever. They were doing something with the first pack of DLC, trying to make it free to entice players, but if you got the free pack 1, I think I calculated out, if you wanted to finish off the pack, finish off the rest of the roster with all the rest of the packs, it would actually still be cheaper to just buy the season pass, the bundle, which already would include the first pack as well. So the free DLC 1 pack was, as far as I can tell, purely bait. Most people, anyone who takes fighting games seriously would probably, especially if they wanted to take this game seriously, would probably invest in the full pack, even if they don't plan on playing those characters, because having the ability to do training mode against them, to have training mode to actually explore them, can be invaluable in understanding how they work if you run into them as opponents. And that's as important as knowing your own character in these kinds of games. So I don't know. We'll throw Blake and Yang, I guess, since they're the characters that people haven't seen.
Get ready!
Unfortunately, from what I've been hearing and seeing, Chie is not a particularly great character, to my dismay. She's fairly limited in her combo routes, especially solo, compared to other characters. But I've got Ruby backing her up, so in the little bit that I've played, I've kind of been able to make it work. It's been about 50-50, I guess, but still getting used to everything in the systems. One thing I did notice playing a Persona character, but not in Persona, I was having some difficulty fighting muscle memory for certain things, like when I was playing. So sweep has been moved to 2C input, but I kept trying to do what I have mapped on my stick for Persona 4 as 2AB, which is the sweep input in that game, and that is DP in this game. There's no 2 or 8 variant for it. So I was getting DPs when I meant to sweep, and for Chie that doesn't have a hitbox unless you're in the air, so I was dropping combos a little bit. difficulty. It doesn't cause chip damage like it does in Persona, but it's still a bit of a problem that I need to work on. Oh, hello.
Are we doing this?
I'm not sure I've ever really run into team building being particularly linear. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I do like still having 5A, even if it's 4A now. Yeah, that's not... I think that's mostly only a problem in, like, DBZ fighters, and to a slightly lesser extent, Marvel 3. I know there were a few very good assists in Marvel UMVC 3, but even those I don't think were quite as dominating as that problem is in Dragon Ball. Just from what I've heard, since I don't play Dragon Ball fighters. But yeah, I don't really feel like that's not a problem in Skullgirls. I don't think that's a problem in what other tag fighters off the top of my head? Tag or team fighters. Skullgirls is the only other main one that I play. I don't play Marvel Infinite, so I can't really speak to that one.
Are we doing this?
I haven't played Nitro Plus in a while, but Nitro Plus's assists were kind of nuts in their own way. And then you had some really good assists in DFC, but since those were only assists, I didn't really feel like that constitutes a team building quite as much as it does on this particular scale. I remember seeing something like that. The little bit I did play the other day, I was noticing a few things that I do need to work on. One of which I can't really do in training mode, and that was reacting to bursts. I do know that one of the best ways of reacting to bursts is to call your assists on reaction. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that kind of works out with this particular team, since I know Ruby is a fairly strong character, and I'm mostly playing Chie just for a chance to play more Chie. Oops. And I'm eagerly waiting for Yuzu to be announced from Under Night, because I'm really interested in how she plays in this system. And I think she would also be an interesting pair with Chie to kind of help with her zoning and dealing with zoning, depending on what assist she has. For the time being, I've got at least got her projectile to help. her neutral assist to kind of help with pressure and
Are we
combos.
doing this? Come here! Ouch!
Her back assists doesn't seem super necessary for GA, at least what I've done with her. Pretty much anything I can think that might use that can also use the neutral assists.
Come on!
Does the back ones might start up a little bit faster, but range kind of might make it a little trickier to work with.
Come on! Here! Come on! There you go! Come on!
Well, that's
Hold on! Come on!
does it have invulnerability on startup? That's one thing I didn't really test. Still sometimes a little slow on that call. It was kind of weird trying to find a button setup for this game too. I ended up with a format with a format kind of similar to what I use for other 5-button fighters. But assist being on where I usually put the dust button is still kind of taking some getting used to. I actually kind of wanted to put it over by my thumb, but that actually then makes DPs harder to do because DPs use A and switch.
Ta-da! Ready for action! Ta-da! This is fun!
Yeah, I mean, I read somewhere that they made A and switch DP because it's the same as the push block, but that also still begs the question, why did they make that push block in the first place? And yeah, nothing on AB. I mean, I still would have been happier with it being a proper 3+ button fighter, but I've come to terms with it at this point. Ruby is so much easy combo potential because she's got a natural launcher that's jump cancelable. I just have to find out what ranges I can reliably hit it with, because I was doing AAA, and that sometimes pushes them out too far, depending on how far I hit them with. Yeah. And I mean, you and I come from a background with experience in fighters, so that might be less of a decision that was aimed at us as the audience and more towards the kind of the accessibility front that has been kind of, I don't want to exactly call it a problem because it has its pluses and minuses, but I'm not sure that the game developers for these games have been thinking about it quite the way that it should be. The 5B is really good. I just don't know what to confirm. Oh, I can get BBB from max range, almost max range. JPV the same thing as JAA, just in the opposite order? Yeah, I don't know. As much as I don't like it, I also don't strictly want it to fail, because I do want to see more players, more people picking up the genre in general. And something like this failing wouldn't send a good message to prospective players or to developers, especially since Japanese developers have this really bad habit. Not all of them do this, but more of them do than they should, of blaming failures, like game success or failure on like community interest. So like one of the prime examples was a little while back in reference to this particular game. Someone made a statement. One of the directors, I think it was the director of the Persona 4 Arena games, made a statement saying that they were waiting to see the success of this game as a gauge of interest on whether or not they want to make a Persona 5 Arena. And it's faulty in a lot of different ways, especially since they're assuming that those interests communities overlap when they don't necessarily. Is that what happened to Darkstalkers? That unfortunately doesn't surprise me at all. And would explain the disappearance of the franchise. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago now. I was at Too Many Games in Central PA, and they had a cabinet they had a bunch of cabinets actually. They had a bunch of Street Fighters, some non-fighting games over there too, and the one I ended up spending the most time on with my friend was an older version of Darkstalkers, which I had never played prior to that. So it was kind of interesting. Got home after the first day and kind of looked up and saw that I think it was PlayStation Now. One of the PlayStation services that. Excuse me, subscription services that allow you to stream old PS3 games and play them on your PS4 had a version of Darkstalkers, and it had a free trial, so I figured that's exactly kind of what I was looking for, a free trial of something. So I got that, downloaded the version of Darkstalkers, and then proceeded to find that it was completely different than the one I had played, and actually not as good, despite definitely looking newer.
This is fun.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're talking about how they're still showing up in, like, MVC. And, yeah, their designs are memorable, even if the game has been since forgotten. And there are so many dojins. See, like, I can't hit A too many times there.
Come on. My turn.
This is basically what I've been doing as my VMB for Chie, which unfortunately does seem to be almost optimal, at least for a meterless mid-screen thing. Actually, just for meterless, there's not a whole lot else you can do without an assist or a meter. I was seeing some interesting other things, at least using charge, and then something with that Herculean strike. Is one of the few links that you can follow up off of. I was sad to find that even in the corner you can't follow up Skullcracker with anything, can't really catch it with anything, at least under normal circumstances. It's hard to mash that out too anyway, trying to catch with a 4A. This wall splat's a little harder to capitalize on than I expected as well. It's possible if you pick them up a bit first. So if I recall from what I was seeing before. Oops. No, that didn't work. I kind of understand, but I was also sad to see that JB doesn't affect your momentum anymore. It used to cause a slight stall, so it was better while rising in the original game. You can still kind of hit people with it standing, but I actually only found out that those were a thing when I was playing yesterday. I'm not sure that that's going to change much for Chie. I know that Rene actually can do more off of her 4A auto combos, but that doesn't really give me too much else to work with. 4A does have a slightly faster startup, but it wasn't enough for the few things I was testing at the time. I was wondering about that. I hadn't tested or looked into it, but yeah, I was kind of hoping that the Unil characters had a bit lower damage output compared to other characters because their reverse beat options give them so many more flexible combo routes than like a character like Chie here. Chie does fortunately still have a lot of her jump cancel options, which I like. Helps make her pressure scarier. We need to find a way to capitalize off something like that. But yeah, I do want Yuzu. He should be interesting. I don't think she hasn't even been announced technically, but I was seeing a bunch of silhouette things that were supposed to be all the characters, and Yuzu was pretty clearly identifiable among them. Let's see, there was another route. Data miners already biting their teeth in. Do we have frame data yet? I haven't checked. That's something I would look into. My friend was playing Yang and he was catching me with some things that I was a little surprised to see were positive, if they were, or So some frame data would be nice. And one thing I didn't realize before was that that's special cancelable, so you can actually drag them out of the air into kind of into the end of a combo on the ground. I just have to find out what the actual timing for it is, though. Yeah, she only has one version of Rampage. But if anyone wants to see anything, just let me know. I'll see about testing it out or showing off if I can. I might try some ranked matches, but I don't know yet. Just see if my friend is available. The guy I played yesterday.
Doing this?
Never.
Are we doing this?
But aside from that, do I have... Nope. Yep. I wish she was a bit better, but like she was in Persona 4 Arena, but I've still been having fun with her so far. How fast is this? That's not quite fast enough. That doesn't pick up. Trying to find... I'm probably gonna end up having to spend meter regardless. Excuse me. It seems like if you want to do anything more complicated with Chie, you kind of have to spend meter. Oh, I can only imagine, since I know that Carmen... Yeah, Carmen can lock down like it's no one's business, so if he has those as his assists, or even if you do like a cross combo, I imagine it'd be very easy to keep the opponent in juggle combos while doing a power charge. And then things just get stupid from there. Oh, wait. There you go. Oops.
Are we doing this?
a lot of things can be set to catch bursts or respond to bursts. That is one of the interesting things that I've been reading about more so than actually trying or experimenting with, since I haven't had much time to play yet. But one of the I have not experimented much with it. After the first time playing, I forgot how to actually even activate it. But it does seem really interesting, and it was the most interesting thing that I had seen from the game in the lead up to its release. They teched out of that. That worked. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Progress. But yeah, one of the early criticisms that I heard about the game was that bursts were too frequent. Since burst is just metered by that blue bar at the bottom, which I have set to autofill. The skill gauge, cross gauge. Which fills up fairly quickly, and yeah, but as I've read more, especially from SKD did a great counter article about a lot of the criticisms of the game, and it included a rebuttal for bursts, and it was enough to kind of convince me, at least as far as his point goes. Like, bursts do come very frequently, but compared to past games, there are a lot of ways of dealing with bursts as well. The most popular of which, and most reliable, which is with your assist call. And apparently the 4P assist is good at that as well. And it becomes a resource game, and keeping track of you and your opponent's resources. So if I'm doing a combo or something and they burst during it, and I still have my full or at least 50% of my assist gauge, I can punish a burst even if it hits me. And that's a strong case for dissuading people from using bursts as frequently as they can use it.
Are we doing this?
Which I think is interesting and creates a dynamic that wasn't there in burst baiting before.
Are we doing this?
Yeah, there is really punishable. One thing I'm a little unsure of how I feel yet is when a character dies, that the reserve character comes in with an attack.
Are we doing this?
And I've tried a few things to kind of counter it, because I did hear that Hakumen can super counter the tag-in attack, which is super dumb, because the player who's coming in with their last character has no say over that attack. They just have to eat that counter. Though it did get me curious if the tag-in, that post-death tag-in attack could be
Are we doing this?
countered in other ways, but I was having difficulty finding the timing to do stuff. But as I thought about it a little bit more, it's not
Are we doing
really that much worse than something like Skullgirls, where the other character just kind of hops in without an attack, because it gives the other player a mix-up in that case. Just for the fact that they're able to meaty the incoming character. In this case, they're forced to block the incoming attack, or in Hakumen's case, he can counter it, but most characters can definitely block it. I didn't try DPing it, but at the same time, every time it happened, every time I was the one coming in, I felt like I came out of that at a disadvantage, which isn't really that much better than hopping in and getting meatied. It's moderately better, but I still get the feeling that you can do, since I was able to make, I did have a few cases where I was able to make the incoming attack whiff, which also potentially opens up possibilities. I've air backdashed out of Yang's because Yang's comes straight down from the top. But so neither one seems like a perfect answer. And it's yet to be seen whether this is better than Marvel's style or not. Because unfortunately, I'm kind of looking at which has the fewer cons instead of which one's better, which one's less worse. It's still taking me a little bit to get used to just 6 to run instead of having to double tap to dash. I can see why it's welcome to newer players, and it doesn't really. It only kind of impacts me because I'm still trying to muscle memory double tap forward. Oh yeah, the DBZF style, King of Fighters style, where it just resets everything.
Are we doing this?
Oh, I mean, Azrael has his regular movement as well. I checked, and that's at least glad that that's still preserved. Yeah, I think I get used to hopping back to that 4A in order to get the stagger pressure too. I mean, it's technically a little easier than if you had to 6-6 and then A, but for the characters that it applies to, I think the only thing that really bothers me about the 4A versus 5A distinction in this game is the fact that some of the Ruby characters at least feel like they have a proper 5A. 6-4 charge, I guess. I remember seeing you can do that in the corner, which, is that any better than actually wall splatting them? Oops. Don't know. can still jump cancel this, but because of the way you don't the jump B doesn't stall your momentum in the air like jump C did in Persona, you can't really combo off of it with it anymore. Even though what you could do off of it in Persona was pretty limited anyway. But yeah, I know you've been playing it a fair bit on your Steam version, Voleno. Do you have any tips or hints that I haven't talked about to share with the stream? Any sage wisdom that your experience has? What kind of things do you wish you had known when you were starting out? It's not you, Neil. You can jump a lot now. I do. Oh yeah, I did notice that, and I tried to air grab my friend yesterday a few times, only to find that input doesn't exist. That doesn't do anything. So I will miss air grabs. For that very reason, I liked I liked punishing jumpy people a lot with air grabs. Though, on the flip side, it is nice to be able to combo off of standard grabs with characters that didn't used to be able to do that. Chie used to require a counter hit grab or one more cancel to combo off of her grab. She also doesn't switch sides anymore. Oops. At the same time, they also still had saved a fair amount of production time by reusing sprites. That's another criticism that I'm a little...
Are we doing this?
I'm still kind of a little with the critics on that regard, that a lot of assets have been reused, even if they might have to be retooled a little bit. That's still a lot less work than making something from scratch. So I think they could have put in a little more effort on that particular front, especially since, and I'm kind of, I might be off base here, but a lot of the changes from the base materials, at least as far as stuff that's important to gameplay, is handled by different crew than would be handling the art. And yeah, I mean, it's not that upscaling isn't work, it's just less work than starting from scratch. One thing I also did hear, then it wasn't until I heard that I kind of noticed, but now that I see it, I can't unsee it. But the Ruby characters definitely have sharper pixel line work than the older characters, such as you can see Chie here, and I don't know how much of that's coming through on my 720 stream, but
Are we doing this?
the upscaling, while still welcome, isn't exactly perfect for the game as a whole, game's aesthetic as a whole either. I haven't really looked at them in comparison. But
This is fun.
yeah, this 5A that actually is the speed of a proper 5A, and she doesn't have a 4A. It's got pretty nice range too.
This is fun. Come on.
What is? Oh, right. I completely forgot about this super when I was playing yesterday, which is a real shame because I really like this super. I forgot that DHCs are a thing too. Is that just, unfortunately I was hitting both buttons there.
Are we doing this?
Okay, it's active attack skill.
Come on. Wow, that was awesome.
To DHC. Is Vice not very good? Like, I've kind of heard that, but I'm not entirely sure what about her that has kind of made it that way. But I suppose that's not really too different than in a new game. There's always you always have tier lists because some characters are just inherently better than others, especially at the onset of a game. And while it's not exactly an excuse, it's not unexpected either. I seem to recall some combos doing something with that. I think I have to get them higher.
This is fun.
Oh. That does kind of remind me, yeah, that I remember when we were talking, especially like about Nanase and Unis and back in Uniel days actually, how we were talking about how a lot of the Uniel characters would be really broken if they were in any other game, and we're kind of seeing that a little bit, at least from my first impressions, in that the Uniel characters, because of the range on their attacks and how some of their attacks function, as well as that reverse speed option for creating pressure and combos and safe pressure, that they are really strong. And I'm again glad that they scaled back their damage a bit to kind of compensate for the fact that they have so many options. Not that I think a straight scaling back of damage is enough to kind of mitigate that advantage. Batista did have some interesting changes to her kit, if I recall.
This is fun.
Yeah, that is a big hit to her kit. Need her to be higher, but not that high. Delay my jump, maybe? Oh, there we go. Now what do I do with that from there? Oops. I guess I can just re-jump into something. What do you mean 100% success rate? Oh. I kind of feel like that might have been the intention of a lot of the characters, but... Oh. I don't know, I mean, Unil's charges weren't as while they weren't as generous as Skullgirl's, they were still pretty easy to work around. I don't... I guess maybe that was just me though. But I know my friend who played also mained Batista very rarely dropped combos, even if what he was doing most of the time was fairly basic. I'm noticing that I can air dash at the end of that, so maybe I can do some biking-ish stuff. Assuming I have enough combo time. Maybe not. The 8-2 one was awkward because so few of them are there. So few of them exist. People in general aren't really used to doing them. The only other ones I can think of is Saki and Arcana Heart, and that was as integral or more integral than Batista's. Yeah, that's true. Kagura does have one in Central Fiction, but yeah, and that one is also very important and equally awkward to learn. Like, I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm also not a Kagura main, so I'm just Kagura doing casual Kagura stuff. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that twice at this point. With the directional... Yeah, I mean, I have been doing air dashes with just directional inputs. I'm not used to doing the 2-button dashes in any game, so I still feel more comfortable doing it with 9, 5, 6, and so on. Yeah. That hits, huh? That doesn't hit usefully, though. That might, though.
This is fun!
Yeah, the only time I button dashed was with doing certain set things in the Unio Unist. And mostly his air dashes, because they didn't really feel like air dashes so much as just unique movement options. Especially since so few characters... So, I don't know if any other character in Unio could air dash backwards in the air. Or, yeah. Yeah, I saw some nice stuff from Lune. Lune's meterless assist list combos are nice. She can do a nice re-jump thing, even if it's patently different than her stuff in Unio. It's still nice to have that. I just like the feel of it. Gotta figure out how Croatian works too. That's I'm dropping at kind of inconsistent places here. Alright, that worked. There's a lot of stun on it. I almost feel like I could pick up off of that with something. I don't know what. How long do you have to wait in order to switch to Buzzsaw? Fact. I was trying to catch my friend being jumpy with the Dragon Kick, but it wasn't working. At least Dragon Kick is her 6P.
This is fun.
It just mean this. Yeah, I mean, this is a combo, air combo ender, so is that to a lesser extent. Got a nice instant overhead. Not that I can think of any good way to follow it up. That works. But yeah, this Buzzsaw is a ender, so I'm trying to save that for where I determine the end of a combo is. Yeah, well, I'm still kind of trying to feel out how far I can get without an assist, and mainly that's just trying to save that assist for burst baiting. And knowing assist combos are definitely valuable, but because if they burst while you're doing an assist and they catch your assist, you can't punish that, if I recall. But assist combos are certainly something I'll get to. Just kind of feeling out what's available before I get to that point. I'm actually not getting Buzzsaw to connect there. I don't know if there's a difference between the A and B versions here. They do about the same damage. Okay, that worked.
Wow, that was awesome!
Yeah, found something that worked. I don't know exactly what part of it I did differently, unfortunately. There we go.
Wow, that was awesome!
That was ABAB. Makes sense. JB probably should have a bit more hit stun. That works. Gives me decent damage for a solo combo. Gotta remember that I can use this for Oki. Be playing Persona 4 Arena all over again. GA 5D Oki. Unfortunately, getting 5 JB to connect does seem a little inconsistent. May depend on spacing. I'm starting these combos from pretty point blank.
Wow, that was awesome!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to micro dash there. That might also help with consistency. Yeah, a little micro dash and then hit A twice gives me 2 hits and lets me get a little bit closer.
This is fun!
I actually attribute Persona's strong Okis to helping my understanding of Oki as a whole, actually. So, I have an appreciation for it, even though it is pretty hellish to deal with on the defensive. Though I may miss sweep to 5D GA Oki, I do understand why it's gone. Alright, so there's my solo corner combo. With Ruby at least. Chia unfortunately doesn't have much, at least as far as meterless stuff goes. Which is, I mean, kind of her problem everywhere.
Are we doing this?
You know, if you mean this, then, I mean, it kind of is still there if she's an assist. So, I mean, it's the sort of 6 or 4P. Okay, I gotta go over.
Ready for action.
But yeah, I was a little curious how they were going to handle the Persona characters in a game with 2 primary attack buttons, with the third being specialized. And this is about the best I could hope for, all things considered. Yeah, and I mean, assists kind of take the place of personas in those particular regards anyway, if you did want to do Oki with them. But as I learned a bit more about the system, I'm not 100% sure that it's worth the meter, depending on how
Go on, gotcha! Come on! Hold on, go on, gotcha! Come on, doing this?
might be able to get the timing down so that it's a free assist instead of a paid one, in which case then it could be pretty potent. That one was still not sure that's going to be. That's still taken bar. I just tried to do a guilty gear sweep. Okay. Didn't think that would work, but but let's see.
Please select your character.
I was kind of also interested in Rene, as I mentioned. Aurier did have some fun combos, mostly, again, enabled by that reverse beating. Don't know how I feel about Yang. I like fist fighters in general, but I don't know. Is she just a better bullet? I was also interested in either Platinum and or Azrael, and I didn't actually. I'm not sure how I feel about Azrael. I'm not sure I like what they changed with him. It's like, because his weak points have been removed, and you just can get his weak points off any of his weak point attacks just by timing the button properly. And I don't know how I feel about that. On paper it's better, but I would also be fighting a lot of muscle memory, or lack of muscle memory. I don't know, who would be a good partner for Lene? I don't like what they changed about Aigis either. She feels a lot like she can kind of pretend to do the same things she could, but it doesn't feel quite the same. Sword lollies. Anyone know how Platinum is in this one? Out of curiosity. Better doesn't necessarily mean good. I thought she had... She not have bubble? I'm actually just gonna pick her to check.
Get ready!
I should have switched them.
Go! Magic!
Now you've done it.
Missile!
Now you've done it.
Magic missile!
Now you've done it.
Yeah!
I don't like her. I don't like this. Don't like her that her
Going down!
her JB is
down!
that attack.
Down!
It doesn't really feel any better to land than
Take that! And that!
God damn it!
Take that! Here!
God damn it!
getting
Now
mad.
you've done it! God damn it! Damn!
Circular!
Now you've done it!
You're going down! You're
God
going
damn
down!
it.
Take that! Take that!
kind of funny that her
Take that! And that!
Now you've done it! God damn
Flying
it!
pit!
God,
Flying
now
pit!
you've done it!
yeah can't combo off of
Frying pan! Frying pan!
pan anymore because it's just a button. It's not an item.
What's your problem?
Yeah, having some tools on regular buttons is a boost, but at the same time, if you lose some of the utility of that attacks, is it a gain? This one definitely is good though.
Now you've done it!
Kitty missiles on command is amazing though.
Now you've done it!
No argument there.
Explosion!
Bombs are nice too.
Explosion! Charge! Persia!
What's your problem? Come at me!
I like that they kept Swallow Moon.
Explosion!
Yeah. And you can still
And swallow!
TK it.
Circular!
Now you've done it!
Going down!
God damn it!
Maybe not quite as low altitude as you could before, but
God damn it! God damn it!
oh, that's neat.
Triple G!
Her assist calls are random.
Now, naughty!
Now you've done it!
Handle it! Sorry, come on!
Oh, that is that.
Sorry, no dodging!
Now you've done it!
At the same time, I appreciate that they kept a little bit of the randomness in there, even if it was never a good point to her character, it was still kind of part of her character.
Sorry, deploy!
Now you've
Oh,
done it!
but Jean can run out as an assist. Yeah.
Now you've done it!
Handle
What's
it!
this?
Sorry, jumping hammer!
Looks like, is that an overhead?
Sorry, jumping hammer!
Now you've done it!
Unfortunately, it's slow because she has to take time to,
You're just wasting your time. Now, sorry,
okay, there we go.
You're not half bad!
I was like, I got the hammer from her 4P like 3 or 4 times in a row there,
Now you've done it!
and now I'm getting new stuff.
Sorry, fried!
You're not half bad!
Unfortunately, those assist calls, aside from her 5P, by the fact that they require her to do her old 5D before she actually does the attack, does make them unfortunately slow.
Come at me.
Let's come on out!
Now you've done it!
You have Kuga? Ooh, aerial Kuga.
Please help!
Now you've done it!
Come on out! Moongyre! Come on out! Persha! Come on out! Clip your wings! Please help! Come on out!
Hit stun is still as awkward as ever on that.
Please
Now you've done it!
Yeah. I mean, at least her
What's your problem?
5P is nice and fast. Didn't mean it solely the fact that it's slow is bad. It's just the fact that 2 out of the 3 are slow,
handle it! Sorry, fire!
Now you've done it!
which kind of limits how if you want something on demand, which I suppose, admittedly, with the random nature of platinum stuff, it's kind of awkward to
What's your problem? Come at me!
rely on anything to begin with, but I haven't really played fighters, but the combos are fairly easy, but maybe not like
Just
that.
wasting your time.
What's your problem?
You're done. You're open.
So what was
Got you. Let's go. Got you. Let's go. Let's go.
Whoa now.
Missed.
Now you've done it.
Stress slice.
Whoa now.
Let's go. Got you.
Whoa now.
Got you. Knock you.
Whoa now.
Got you. Knock you. Die.
Whoa now.
Missed.
Whoa now.
Missed.
Whoa now.
Missed. Take you.
Whoa now.
Got you. Knock. Missed. Take this. Gone.
Now you've done it.
Got you. Not done. Move your thing.
Whoa now.
Got you. Not slice.
God damn it. Whoa now.
there we go.
Got you.
God. Whoa now.
Let's go. Got you.
Whoa now.
Slice.
Now you've done it.
Slice.
Now you've done it.
Okay, Carmen's English voice sounds a little
Just wasting
awkward.
your time.
I didn't look up who his voice actor is, but
What's your problem? Come at me.
doesn't sound inappropriate, just different. I don't know, I'm not sure I have enough experience yet to give it a rating. I haven't actually played that much of it yet. That's why I'm still here in the lab rather than out playing
What's your
matches.
problem? Come at me.
But my friend says he might be might be available at 11ish, so I might be able to get some matches in and you can watch me flail around.
Got you. Not done. You.
Now you've done it.
Let's go.
Whoa
Slice.
now.
You're done.
Now you've done it.
But
Missed. Slice.
Whoa now.
I think I could
Slice.
Whoa now.
delay that a bit, maybe.
Slice.
Whoa now.
Missed. Slice.
Whoa now.
Let's go. Got you.
Whoa now.
Got you. Not done. Know your
Now
place.
you've done it.
Got you. Not done. Know your place.
Now you've
Yeah,
done it.
it's too bad it was still brand new during the Steam sale.
Let's go. Got you.
Now you've done it.
Missed. Slice.
God damn it. Whoa now.
Got you. Not sick.
Whoa now.
Got you. Knock you. Die.
God damn it. Whoa now.
Missed. Take you. Slice.
now.
Missed.
Whoa
Slice.
now.
Missed.
God
You.
now.
Got you. Not done. Let's go. Got you. Missed. Take you. Slice.
now.
Got you. Not sick.
God damn it.
Got you.
now.
Let's go. Got you.
I think I have to delay that first JA.
Slice.
Whoa now.
Let's go. Slice. Slice.
Now you've done it.
Let's go. Slice. Slice.
There we go.
Asshole. Now you've done it.
Got you.
That's gonna be a bit awkward to learn.
Let's go. Got you.
God damn it. Now you've done it.
Not done. Missed. Take this. You.
Now you've done it.
Actually, getting the right number of hits out of that is a bit weird.
You.
Whoa now.
Missed. Take this. Missed. Take this.
God damn it. Now you've done it.
You're just wasting your
Ooh,
time.
mixed combos are fun though.
done it.
You die.
Whoa now. Whoa now.
You.
Whoa now.
You.
Now you've done
Let's
it.
go. You.
Now you've done it.
Oops.
Gotcha. That's it.
Whoa now.
Gotcha. Let's slice.
Whoa now.
Let's go. Gotcha. Slice.
Now you've done it. Cut. Whoa now.
Let's go. Gotcha.
Whoa now.
Missed. Let's go. Gotcha. You.
Asshole. Now you've done it.
There was an interesting one.
You're just wasting your time.
What's your problem? Come at me. Whoa now. Now you've done it. Now you've done it.
You die. Here I
Whoa now.
Slice.
Whoa now. Whoa now.
Sweet. You.
Whoa now.
You.
Whoa now.
Right input, wrong button.
Whoa now.
Slice.
Whoa now.
Same thing.
Strike.
Whoa now.
Strike. Slice.
Whoa now.
Strike. Blind swallow. Down. Slice.
Whoa now.
Sweet.
Whoa now.
Don't know why I'm still locked into trying to do the A version of that.
Strike. You. Blind swallow.
Oh, now you've done it.
Down. Slice.
Whoa now.
Strike. You. Charge.
That hurt. Now you've done it.
So, okay.
You.
Whoa now.
Sweet. Slice. Charge.
Asshole. Now
Let's
you've
go.
done it.
I think you should be able to pick up with that.
Whoa now.
Strike. Blind swallow. Strike.
Whoa now.
Is this a practical combo? I'm not sure. Not sure.
Strike. You.
Whoa now.
Slice. Blind swallow.
Oh, now
Let's
you've
go.
done it.
Strike.
Now you've done it.
Charge.
Asshole. Now you've done it.
Strike. Charge.
Now you've done it.
Strike. You. Blind swallow.
Asshole. Now you've done it.
Blind swallow.
Asshole. Now
Let's
you've
go.
done it.
Strike.
Now you've done it.
Strike. Here I
That
am.
hurt. Now
Let's
you've
go.
done it.
Got you. Got you. Missed. Sweet.
Now you've done it.
Sweet. Slice. Charge.
Asshole. Now you've done it.
Strike.
Doesn't quite feel like I recover in time still. Unfortunately.
You. Blind swallow.
Now
Let's
you've
go.
done it.
Can I get them up a little bit higher?
Come at me.
Strike.
Now you've done it.
Sweet. Slice. Here I am.
Now you've
That's
done
not
it.
high enough.
Slice.
Whoa now.
Slice. Charge.
Asshole. Now you've done
That
it.
have actually worked.
Strike. Slice. Blind swallow.
Asshole. Now you've done
Missed.
it.
Sweet.
Now you've done it.
Sweet. Here I am. Missed.
There we go.
That hurt. Now you've done it.
Doesn't do much damage though. Probably not worth the effort. Though it is a side swap, so it might be worth remembering eventually. Not anytime soon.
Slice.
Whoa now.
Win.
Whoa now.
Slice.
Now you've done it. Now you've done it.
I was seeing something that was using
Now you've done it.
Win.
Now you've done it.
Fight.
Now you've done it.
Skyfang.
Now you've done it. Now you've done it. What's your problem? Come at me!
Great GF game, 5 styling on.
What's your problem? Come at me!
Oh yeah, okay. I had to read that twice.
Asshole! Now you've done it! Asshole! Now you've done it!
How's this? Pick a guy and pray. Next
I'm also really bad at timing the follow-up on that.
You're done. Slice.
Whoa now!
You die. Skype. Slice.
Whoa now!
You die.
Now you've
This
done
is
it!
the trying to super jump into a button gets me a TK input somehow.
Whoa! Now you've done it! Whoa! Now you've done it!
You're just wasting your time.
I think I do like Line's English voice though.
Now you've done it!
Yeah, I thought I remembered seeing a combo that something like this into a TK
What's your
Kuga.
problem?
I'm not getting it to connect.
Now you've done it!
My first impression was, or my first thought was Kira Buckland, but I don't think it is. Was it Sarah something? Don't remember. Peacock's voice actress. Not that she sounds anything like how she usually sounds in that role.
What's your problem? Come at me!
I remember that Hyde is Kyle McCartley. That's, if I'm remembering his last name right, the 9S and Alm's voice actor, who's a pretty cool guy as far as I've heard. He's on the Fire Emblem subreddit and does broadcast his playthrough of Echoes, which is kind of neat to see. Sometimes gets other voice actors from the game to guest host or guest star. Yeah, Sarah Ann Williams.
You're just wasting your time.
I've always kind of wondered what that felt like to play a character that you voiced.
You die. Kiederen.
Now you've done it!
Not done.
Damn it! Now you've done it!
Skype.
Now you've done it!
Slice.
Now you've done
You
it!
die. Skype.
Now you've done it!
You die.
Now you've done it!
You die.
Now you've done
You
it!
die. Skype.
Now you've done it!
Do wish they had more than 2 variations for the voice lines for that attack, because
You die.
Whoa now!
you die gets old real fast.
Skype.
Now
I'm
you've done it!
so bad at super jump. Yeah, that one too. Oh, that was Sarah Williams too, was it? She sounded familiar, but I couldn't place her. Chihaya in Persona 5.
Come.
Can anyone look up who plays Ortier as well? Because she sounds real familiar, and I'm not quite placing her.
Win.
I mean, she kind of reminds me of Julianne Taylor, but given how many characters that are in this that I think Julianne Taylor's already playing,
Win. How careless.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm blanking on her name. But yeah, I do remember reading that now. Yeah. Erica Mendez. I've liked everything I've heard from her as well so far too.
Skyfang! Skyfang! How careless!
Though, now that you mention it, I think her Orie sounds very similar to her Eleanor.
Win! How careless! Win! How careless!
You still have to double tap to dash cancel though, which is probably a good thing. You wouldn't want to get accidental dash cancels just by holding forward.
Skyfang! Skyfang! How careless! Fight! How careless! Win! How careless! Fight! How careless!
How easy is that to still to follow up?
Well done! Skyfang! How careless! Well done! Well done! Skyfang! Well done! Your wings!
Oops. That is not a combo ender anyway. Should not try to do that.
How careless! How careless! Skyfang! How careless! Wing slice!
Okay, I can just pick up with. Alright, if I can pick up with 5B, then I might be able to pick up from further away.
Well done!
Maybe. Does anyone know if there are any instant air dash combos? Like, it's a little weird. I used to hate those until I was learning Tsubaki in CPEX? I think it was one of the earlier patches of Chrono Phantasma. That was the last time Tsubaki's instant air dash combos were relevant, and those were actually really fun to do. They were hard, but they were really fun. Can you elaborate a bit on that? I'm not sure what you mean by structure things and why it's good to go further into an auto combo. Does it generate more meter like it does in Persona?
How careless!
Because even if it generates more meter, it tends to pro-8, or in Persona it pro-8ed combos more.
Come! How careless! How careless! Skyfang! How careless! Skyfang! How careless! Wing slice! Well done! Slice! Well done! How careless! You're just wasting your time.
Yeah, some of that's habit still. And I don't know how universal that is either. Because I recall... What was I doing? I was actually doing... So, on aerial hits, I think Lin's AA reduces the opponent's height rather than... Yeah, it kind of pulls them down a bit, which makes it harder to do it. Sometimes makes it harder to do jump follow-ups. Or it'll change the height at which they are for the 5B afterwards. See, they're higher there compared to that. But in other cases, that might definitely be useful and something I'll keep track of. But as you say, proation does... I don't quite understand how proation works yet, so it may or may not be more advantageous. And just because you're getting more hits doesn't mean you're getting more damage, is one of the cardinal truths of ArcSys systems that kind of trips up a lot of new players, just in terms of theory, because probation can be wonky.
You're just wasting your time. Come.
Anyway, my friend's up for some matches. I'm gonna go
Here we go.
see if I can set up a room. First, let me solicit money from this creature. Hopefully streaming doesn't interfere too much with our connection. We're not too far away, so we usually get pretty good connections. I'll just make that my name for him to search. Okay. Again, I'll keep it in mind. I don't know if I'll even stick with Lunan at any in this game. There we are. I mean, not like I'm not already planning on playing Chie and Yuzu, despite playing both of those rather extensively in their respective games, but we'll see.
Just try to take our dynamic duo on. I dare you.
This looks like it could be fun.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight. Rocket.
Nice hit! Nice hit!
Yeah.
Nice hit! Nice hit!
Fire. Hold on. Hold on.
Nice hit!
Almost capitalized off that. I do have a bad habit of air dashing a lot, so and he kind of knows that. He just met in the air and then did nothing. Air dashing back isn't bad, but I air dash forward a little too much. And I get anti-aired. I blocked that and he was kind of forced to block my mix-up after that, or at least block my pressure. I didn't notice that Ruby was so low.
Nice hit. Nice hit. Take a nap. We'll back him down. Stay up. Fire. Here. Counter. Come on. Finish.
Find it a little rude that Yang 5A competes with my 5B,
Ruby.
but
Win.
I'd say thus is the life of an infighter, but Yang is supposed to kind of be an infighter too. Oh, it remembers our wins and losses from last time. Yeah, I imagine without air grabs and
Ready. Get ready.
stuff, air dashing backwards is a little bit more viable, but yeah. Yeah, forward air dashing is kind of bad habit from Persona, in part because both
Can't escape from crossing fate.
both versions of Chie, just her forward instant air dash just feels so fast.
Nice hit. Take a nap. Come on. Hold on. Let's go. Nice hit. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Nice hit.
Well,
I'll smash you. Nice hit. Nice hit. Take a nap.
alright, he just threw me there. That was gutsy. I should have just continued with the 5Bs there, because I would have gotten the launcher. I was close enough. I know my switching habits are pretty bad, and I should not make a habit out of those. Interesting. Let's do a cross combo.
You're in trouble now.
Tried to be a little safer with that, even though it's not that much better. Just raw swapping, especially in a place like that, is something that's not something I should be letting myself get used to doing. Got Bagging Astra, don't I? That's the wrong one. Right. Oh, that's good.
Hey, now who wants some? Share.
Still have to get used to the damage scaling as well. Not just that numbers are higher, it's that they actually reflect higher in your HP taken as well.
Get ready.
Her quarterback stuff.
Show you what I've got.
Basically safe as in unreactable online.
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Fight. You cover fire. Counter. You have my feet.
Nice hit. Nice hit.
I like that getting Persona broken means pretty much nothing in this.
Come on. Nice hit. It's not good. Come on.
entirely bad decision on my part. Man, he just grabs me at weird spots, and I'm not sure if he's if he's actually calling out my DP baits, or if he's just grabbing because he feels like grabbing, and that uncertainty kind of worries me. So yeah, I tried to tech his grab that time and got DP'd. I dropped more combos than I feel that I'd like to admit there, but I somehow managed to come out on top.
Get ready!
Yeah, gotta remember to try to use assists more neutral, especially since they should be free if I'm not attacking. And
Show you what I've got.
maybe land that corner combo with Ruby that I was practicing earlier. Point blank 5B is not exactly the most practical of starters. Okay. I was actually trying to DP there and I hit the wrong thing. I didn't. I thought to call my assist, I just didn't do it quickly enough.
I'll take you down.
Did that connect? I don't think that connected. Well, if I ran into that. Something else I need to remember exists is push blocks. If I need the space, I should spend the meter and get the space. I know I have a habit of trying to kind of wait out pressure and look for an opening that I'm not necessarily adept enough at defending. Or I get impatient and... Yeah, I'm just not... Part of it is I also haven't practiced where to use it, but I should look for more opportunities just to connect with bigger combos with Chie, since I'm not really using the meter for supers, or use it for the power charge. So maybe not necessarily off of a 2A starter. That would have been a better place to have used my meter. Thought about trying to go for the combo I was learned earlier. Didn't think I was close enough to the corner to actually get the bounce that I needed. Thought to anti-air that too late. Still hit the button anyway. Another thing to not do. Yeah, need to remember if I need to swap out safely, if I can tag with a decent combo, even a small one, I can super and then DHC to get a safe swap. Because I'm on a arcade stick, I don't have a right stick, so I can't move the camera.
Get ready.
Right, I actually forgot that you can switch off of an assist call as well. And it generates more meter afterwards. Oh, he changed up his team.
Once I smash him to pieces.
Something else I need to get used to.
Crossing fate. Fight. Come here. Counter. Hold on. Come here. Nice hit.
He usually does something after that.
Not yet. Not yet. Gotta move. I'll take you down. Nice hit. Pretty good.
He's really high.
Right here.
Tried to convert off that, didn't have enough stun.
Ruby, win.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I go a little too far?
I think I have my settings set to autosave replays, but I'm not sure if I did that. I think I did, but I'm also not seeing a save replay button option in the result screen. So whatever I have it set at, it must be doing.
Our opponents don't look easy, Yang. They can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! knock you down! Retake wide open! This way! Let's go!
That was air confirmer. Thought that might have been interesting, but I didn't actually know what to do off of it. Oh, I made that miss, but it, doing so at the cost of my, that was a lag spike. It let me switch out, but I'm making stuff up as I go. Oh, I haven't practiced assist combos with Ruby. Okay. I don't think I hit with that assist. Oops. That was me trying to do a Persona style sweep and getting a DP by accident. Getting slightly better at reacting to that, but so sweep into super. Let's see, I think her neutral is Herculean Strike into Black Spot.
Get ready!
I guess, yeah, that's probably a safe, safe way to connect any assist extension is to do something brief into a super. Well, had to get out of there somehow. I'm just can't break this momentum.
Nice hit, okay. Gotta move. Counter. Let's go. How much can you take? Divide you?
Dead? Yeah.
Not bad.
I don't know why his failed to grab me, but I'll take it.
I'll take you down. Nice hit. Nice hit. Nice hit. That's not good.
I'll take it. Though really, I probably should not have won that match. If all of those touches that I got hit with earlier on were succinct. connected into combos, GA would not have survived nearly as long as she did.
Get ready! Let me show you what I've got.
Need to remember to drink more while I'm
Our opponents don't
streaming.
look easy, Yang.
That way I don't lose my voice nearly as fast.
Gotta move. She can get this flying. Marvelous. Yes. Counter. Hold on. Come on. Hold on. No chance. Knocked out. Wide open up here. Counter. No chance.
Not dead yet.
Too slow. Pretty good. How much can you take? I'll divide you. Marvelous. Pretty good. Got you. I'll do you down. I'll mow you down. Let's go. I'll do it. This way. Into the fray. I'll do you down. Counter. Stay up. Counter. I'll do you down. I'll do you down. Roger. There. I'll mow you down. Counter. I'll do you down. Gotta move. Let's go! Pretty good! I'll cut you to...
Oh, I actually got the marvelous.
Let's do that again! Share! Ruby!
Well, I managed to turn that one around too.
Feeling. Of course, I've become even stronger!
I did that one by accident, admittedly. The TK Buzzsaw. But given that she has a ground projectile, there isn't really too much reason to do the Ender. Especially since I think the Ender doesn't actually have a projectile, it just has a blast, right? That knocks him away.
I dare you!
Our opponents don't look easy, Yang.
They will. Can't escape
Excuse me.
from crossing fate. Fight! Feel strong!
This is it.
This is it. For real?
Well, I think that can... Alright, I just jumped into her arms. That is... Dirty mix-up, I'll take it. Oh, I didn't realize I was that low on health myself. Okay.
Mission complete! JK! As the leader, Team Ruby, I've never known the meaning of defeat! Okay, out of
Yeah, I mean, Persona has lower health than blazblue, too.
Get ready!
Yeah, especially if they're fully confirmed combos, too.
Hiya! Let me show you what I've got!
Our opponents don't look easy, Yang. Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Come! Let's go! Over here! Let's go! Oh, not bad. Got you! Counter! No chip left! Not to charge! On my feet! Gotta move! Into the fray! Cover tomorrow! Hold on! On my feet! How dare you! Table 4!
Yeah. Another thing, it's just more things to get used to. Okay.
This way. Over here.
I got hit by something and I don't know what. Yep, should have bursted to keep GA alive. That was my first mistake of many.
Gotta admit, taking this on took some guts. But charging in without thinking was a good way to lose.
But don't feel down about it.
Well, I'm in a player room with one other person that I know, so I won't really be experiencing too many different teams, not this time. Maybe I'll try ranked another time. But I appreciate your support nonetheless, and I'm just going to ignore that Vice comment.
Our opponents don't look easy, Yang.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Too slow.
Gotta move.
Let's go!
Alright, so I need to call my assist earlier than that. Hey, I kind of got it. I'll just leave it there.
Too slow. Gotta move.
He was right there.
Pretty good. Into the fray.
Oh. I'll take it.
With everything I've got.
It's up to you.
Bye-bye, friend. Total victory.
I don't know if I have a team. I suppose technically, if I had to pick anyone, I'd like Yang the most because of her fighting style, but no real waifuism anywhere along the line.
Get ready.
Oh, there we are. He switched to Vice. And Naoto.
Call my name and I shall appear.
So, you're the famed Ice Queen.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight.
Team after, Alright. Gotta figure out if that still works the same way or differently.
warming up.
Oh, I thought I used assist actually came out that time, but I didn't actually. I don't think I actually hit with it. Alright, maybe I can pop those.
Changing position. Careful now. You. Struck. I will lose to anyone. At the ready. You. Let's go. Stop. Damn.
Alright, so we'll save that meter.
You will pay. Just warming up. I counter. Don't you move. Just warming up.
I'll take it.
Let's do that again. Share.
I wanted to sweep in there and I hit the wrong button.
What a win! Oh, let's keep this up.
I think I'm, well, BlazBlue is the only game that where sweep is on the same button as it is in this one for me, just with the directional input instead of, well, with a different directional input. I suppose I could technically think of it as a 3C as sweep and still it'll all work out, but
Now let's do this. So, you're the
I don't know.
famous queen.
Functionally it should be identical since it's still a downward.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight. Double back. Changing struck. Persona 4. Struck.
I gotta figure out how to pop those.
Moving on. Easy. Yahoo! Yikes. You wait, please. Pretty good. Got you. Persona. Yeah. My turn. Slice. At the rip. There. Counter. Take that. Yeah. Pretty good. Take combo.
Punish?
Pretty good. Moving on.
A small punish at least.
On my feet. Take this. Shard. Perish. Fall. Not that. Tracker. At the top. Not the top. At the top. Not a nuisance. We'll back him down. You see this coming? I'll show you.
I don't know what enough of Rice's attacks looks like. That's the far range, long range one. Okay, quarter forward is forward, so it's further, quarter back for the closer one. Gotta remember that. And yo, Vice's hair was doing some weird stuff at the beginning of that.
What sort of strategy should we employ next?
Get ready. One, two, three, four. So, you're the fate. Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight. There. Deploy. Counter. Now, on my feet. Counter. Too slow. Now. On my guard. You see this coming? Pardon me. Pretty good. Just warming up. Just warming. Disappointing. Not bad. Be careful. Pretty good. Take this. Stop.
I feel kind of dirty every time I do that, because it's technically just a ghetto mix-up.
Just warming up. It's over. Pretty good. Counter.
I can do this on my own. I will not give up. Ice Shard! Oh, please, Hurry! Just warming up.
Hey, tick froze.
You're tough!
Cheer! Ruby!
Feeling. Of course.
Get ready!
One, two, three, four. Ready to rock.
So, you're the famed Ice Queen.
Can't escape from
I did
crossing
like
fate.
some of Vice's combos.
Not bad. Damn, not yet.
Okay, he was not expecting any of that to land that way.
Pardon me.
Alright, thank you.
Completely unguarded. Excellent. Not resolved. Pardon me. Why you? Just warming up. I'll shoot you down. Take that.
And that JB is so good.
Just warming up.
Yeah, Vice's projectile is a little unfortunate.
Pretty good. Not done. Be careful. Come on. Pretty good. Please.
It's a bad time to call GA.
Don't move. My turn. Come forward. Don't move. Go. Not bad. Moving on. Oh. Not bad. Take persona. Salt. Not bad. Not bad. Counter. Better than I thought. At the ready. Storming in.
Oh, those throw reject misses, huh? Tried to swap out. Didn't get it in time. Okay.
Just warming up. It can't end like this. No choice. Just as predicted.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You got me. Was not expecting that.
White! Win!
So detective, what sort of strategy?
Get ready!
Hi-ya! Let me show you what I've got.
So, you're the famed Ice Queen.
Why does everybody call me that?
Can't escape from crossing fate.
Vice
Fight!
expresses herself through her hair like a cat would her ears.
Please, don't stop. Right, yeah. Come on. Not a nuisance. Not dance. Too slow. Not done.
That was a leg spike that was not to my advantage.
Not completely unguarded. Go, go. Not got you. Please, forward. Moving on. Take this.
Mine's faster.
Counter. Pretty good.
Ow. jumping a lot, and I'm trying to catch him with like an anti-air.
I can do fire. Changing position. Damn.
Like that.
Pretty good. Ready for action. Not so good. Just warming up. You can't end like this. You brought this on yourself. Oh man, I'm hungry. Let's go get some meat. Share. As the leaders here, Ruby, I've never.
I think I might have tried baiting his bursts too much, or not his bursts, his DPs a little too much when we were first playing, so now he doesn't do them, which does mean that I can run a little more aggressive mediocre
So, you're the famed ice queen.
until he starts using them again, and then I can try to bait them.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Double fed! Right! Careful now! Counter! Not yet!
That's-
Double fed! Counter!
Didn't hit my alright, empty jump bow. Just in neutral.
Damn! Not yet! May I cut it? Not so pretty good! May I cut it? Just warming up. Just warming up. Just warming up. Pretty good. There! Completely inverted. Be careful. Pretty good. Let's go. Second stroke.
A little disappointed that that missed.
Not yet. Pretty good. Let's go.
Alright,
Right.
don't use Chie to pop those.
Fight. Not bad. You take. Let's go. Damn. Down. You will pay for my family's honor. Well second down. Counter. Ultimate.
Well, I don't think that super would have killed, though. Well, it might have at the time, because I was still recovering HP, which is why I'm at the value I'm currently at. But, I lucked out at the end there. Not making... under no illusion that that was a win that I earned at the very end. I assume this is two-dimensional from the side, but I'll never be able to turn my camera and see.
Get ready. Get ready. Hiya! Let me show you what I've got.
Weiss, it seems we are wanted.
Switched in Orie.
Oh, I'm honored. Let's treat them with the
Rapier
respect
crew.
they deserve.
Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Now! Not bad! Divine thrust! Come on! Pretty good!
Guard, it's nothing. Guard.
Take judgment! Use down! Spin! Pretty
Okay.
good! Opening!
Harmless.
Pretty good!
warming up.
Alright. Thanks for coming by and for all the tips and comments. We'll have a chance to play together eventually.
Pretty good. Judgment. Why you?
It's not an attack. Going easy right there. Right.
Uh-oh, Persona battle.
Going in. What an attack. Easy. On my feet. No escape. Guard. You dropped your guard.
Good night.
I cannot lose until the day I complete my mission.
Wife! Orion! Win!
Alright, gotta figure out how to deal with the new team.
Version of herself.
As if Weiss maybe outpoked GA, then Orie definitely outpokes GA. No idea what this is about, but suddenly I'm just ahead.
Get ready! Get ready!
Can't forget the warm-up. Now let's do this!
Weiss, it seems we are wanted.
Can't escape from crossing fate! Fight!
Just warming up.
Pardon me. Ice shard! Not completely unguarded.
I'll stop you. Guard. What an attack. What an attack. Please fall. Fall. You dropped your guard. Defend thrust.
I'll never forget
What an
you.
attack.
There!
Guard. What an attack.
I'll do you down! Counter! Don't you move! Counter! Pretty good! I'll do you down!
Just warming up.
Let me show you!
I like that super.
Just warming up.
I just think it's cool.
I'm here. Guard. What an attack. Easy. Useless. Too late to repent. Light up.
Oh, that didn't kill. Disappointment.
Just warming up. I can still do this. Here. Evil shall not win. Guard. I'll show you. Justice.
That was way too late.
I see through it. Please, put down your weapons and surrender.
Hesitated because I had to remember where that super ends on block.
Best version of herself.
The one that I blocked. Some like Rondo supers only do like some of the hits, but they do some of the hits, so if you try to punish before it's actually over, you can get hit. And I just don't know the characters well enough yet.
Now let's do this!
Weiss, it seems we are wanted. Oh, I'm honored.
Can't escape from crossing fate! Fight!
Guard! Guard!
Not done! Here you go! Here you go! Completely unguarded. Prepare!
Oh, that was cool.
Turning the
Did that by accident.
Please give up! Right there! Make it fast! Pierce!
Just warming up. Turning the tide.
Going it! Please give up! Down below! Spin!
Harmless. Down. I can do this on my own.
Okay.
Completely hard!
Just gonna make sure that kills. That make,
Take a few more!
have no doubt about whether or not I'll do enough damage.
Ruby.
Yup. Totally necessary.
Come on, who's next?
Get ready. Get ready.
There. Got two more. That'd probably be a good place for me to call it a night too. So
Call my
this one
name,
and one more, I
I shall
believe.
appear.
Weiss.
Maybe by next time I'll have learned new characters or actually be decent with these characters.
Just warming up.
Too slow. That's hard. That's up. Did not stop you. Take judgment. Right there. Spin. Your fate is sealed. Justice will be done. It's over with. Going easy. Below. Spin.
Okay. Thanks for coming by as well.
Deploy. Hair tight. What's your punishment? Pursuit. Here. Don't resent me.
Got touched.
Take.
Don't know how that works, but
Take. Your fate is sealed. Justice will be done. It's marvelous. Up we go. Counter. Going in. Guard. Do you down. Divine thrust. Don't you move. There. Counter. Going in. Judgment. Divine thrust. You did everything you got. Counter. Yeah. Guard. We're in the town. Guard. Counter. Guard. It's my guard.
You will
Nice counter.
just warming
I will not give up.
can we finish it off this? Oh, well, I can not block
We
low.
must strive for the best versions of ourselves. There's no time to stand idly by.
And get myself finished off of that.
One should always strive to be the best version of herself. I want to be the best partner you could have.
Alright, last one.
get ready.
Call my name, and I shall appear.
Weiss, it seems we are wanted.
Oh, I'm honored. Let's
Good.
treat them with the respect
Successfully
they
called
deserve.
assist on a few bursts, but haven't been able to actually capitalize off of it. I was not expecting that to actually hit.
You see this coming? Boom! I'll stop you. See? Going easy. Counter. Easy. No escape. Boom! That's it. Ta-da!
I was supposed to.
That
That was.
right there.
DHC was not working.
Just warming up.
Almost caught that.
Watch your punishment soar! Guard! Guard! Pretty good!
Just warming up.
Pretty good!
bad decisions were made.
Pretty good. I'll give it everything I got.
I started this from way too bad of a starter, but I'm gonna roll with it anyway because I've got meter to burn.
Just warming up.
Pretty good.
Completely alert. Prepare.
And it didn't help me.
Shall I teach you how to
Oh well.
White. Orie. Wind.
They're not in the stream, but thank you, Zepfa, for the matches. I'll tell you on Messenger in a moment as well. But shout outs for being a great
What a
partner.
wonderful thought. Then I too.
And thank you everyone else for joining. Apparently that Yosuke is GG's. Alright. Good night everyone, and hope you'll tune in next time. Maybe for more of this, maybe for something Fire Emblem, maybe for something else entirely. I did get Paper Mario 1000 Year Door working on emulators, and was talking about possibly streaming that since I have never played it before. I've played Super Paper Mario and Paper Mario 64. But I'll figure that out before next time. Alright. Here we go. Good night. As soon as I can figure out how to stop broadcasting. I haven't done this in a while. That's not it. There we go.